Good Monday evening, everybody. It's 8 o'clock. I'm David Paul. You're in the KHOU 11 Weather Center. This is our daily tropical update every night at 8 o'clock right here on Plus and streaming across all our platforms. So, where are we? We've gone through Imelda, so that is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 named storms in a season where by the end of it, the Colorado State University folks and basically NOAA have the same forecast of taking us to about 16 named storms. That would take us all the way to Pablo. So at the moment, there are no active named storms out there, but there is one that is bubbling up and I think is going to become Jerry, perhaps even in the next 48 hours. That one's in the open Atlantic. And then another spot is trying to do something in the southern Gulf. I think it's going to run out of room before it can form, but we're going to take a look at that. So we got a couple of things to look at here. Here's the big board. There's the spot that I think is going to become Jerry. Pretty good looking disturbance. It is an invest, so we're running spaghetti plots on that. I'll show it to you, but in general, that's what they do, keeping this most likely in the open Atlantic. Folks on the lesser Antilles will have to keep a very close eye on that just in case it decides to take a little more southerly track. But again, it has not developed. It's not a named system yet, just an area of disturbed weather. And then the other spot you can see here, in the southern Gulf, 10% chance. This has only got 2 days to do something because what there is of this, which is a little area of disturbed weather now over the Yucatan, is going to get into the southern Gulf. It's going to try to develop, but it's going to move west, and I think it's going to run out of room pretty quickly and bump into Mexico and bring rain to Mexico, the central Gulf Coast of Mexico, but that will be most likely about it. And it's interesting, it's being squashed and being held down there by a front coming in, which is going to give us some nicer weather here by the end of the week. Sea surface temperatures, they are warm, but just because you have warm water doesn't mean you're going to automatically have a busy season, but they are plenty warm out here where Jerry's trying to develop 85 to 88 degrees in the main development region, 87 there east of the Bahamas, and then you get into the Gulf and the Carib. I mean, skin temperature of the water's 90 here, upper 80s across the Gulf. This is where our little disturbance has now moved. It's now over the Yucatan, but it's going to get back over the warm water of the southern Gulf. Will it be able to develop? 10% chance that it does so, even though the water there is bath water. So let's look at this first. So I need to move that little highlighter. The actual disturbance has now moved over the Yucatan, so it won't develop tonight as it's over land, but we'll put this in motion and watch how this just, there we go, tumbles into the southern Gulf here. Excuse me, as we head into tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. This is about 24, excuse me, this is about 24 hours from now. We'll have our little disturbance here over the southern Gulf. And it is going to try to tumble. If it had more time over that warm water, it would probably develop. But as you will see, that's 24 hours from now. It's right there. And then it scoots quickly into Mexico. So Tampico, central Mexico, mountains here are going to see a lot of rain with a flash flooding threat, but that will bring a very quick end to what little tropical threat we had as we head into Wednesday. By Wednesday, so 48 hours from now, 6:30 in the evening this coming Wednesday, it's moving inland and no longer a threat. Now look at the top of the screen. That's the front. So front pushing in, helping to squash this to the south, and that will open the door to some lower humidity for Houston. Not cold air, but lower humidity, but that will make things feel much better as the area stays well south of the U.S. in the Gulf. Now out to the wave, the area of disturbed weather, tropical disturbance in the open Atlantic. This is the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It's 95L. It's got a name, sort of. We designated it 95L, so it is an invest, so all of the hurricane models are running on this. What there is of it is moving west-northwest at 20, and you can see there is a bit of a tumble to that. So this one is trying to get organized. It's encountering a little bit of shear, just a little bit of shear pushing things off to the north and east, but not much. So this is looking like it wants to get going, thus the 80% chance for development. Pressure's down to 1,009 millibars in that. Quick look at the spaghetti plots. It's very tight consensus track right there. Hopefully it stays north of the islands. Maybe it doesn't. So Guadeloupe and you guys here on the northern Antilles will have to watch that carefully. Bermuda, keeping an eye on it as well, but all trends are that will make a turn before it threatens anywhere in the United States or the rest of the Caribbean. So that's where we stand on what I think will end up being Jerry. So that's such a common track this time of the year. This is the fall setup in general. You start getting these mid-latitude troughs. That's the fronts coming in. The key development region becomes the northern Carib off the east coast. So here we'll have our system potential Jerry tracking right in here. And what's it going to do? It's going to get pulled north, and it is because these troughs, as they come in from west to east, basically just block. I mean, they're not actually blocking it. They create that flow that lifts these storms up and into that flow, and then off they go up the east coast into the northeast. And quite often they turn before they even impact the east coast. So that's why you'll see these storm tracks like the ones that form out here, like potential Jerry and some of the other storms we've had. They'll turn to the north and they'll never make it close to the United States. I did want to show you the runs on potential Jerry. There's potential Jerry this evening. A little bit of a low pressure forming. You don't see anything organized here. So, and I've looked at the runs all day today, and when I put this in motion, you'll notice nothing forms here. So the two spots to watch. Let's do this a little piece at a time. I'll take you into Wednesday. Nothing forms here. So again, chances are very low that anything gets going in the southern Gulf. This gets much better organized by Wednesday. So that could very likely be Tropical Storm Jerry by Wednesday. And the GFS picks up on it. The Euro's not playing right now on Jerry. Does not pick up on Jerry. That's interesting. We'll take this forward in time. Grazes close to the islands, but does not hit. At least the GFS does not directly hit the islands of the Eastern Carib. That's Friday. And then watch, I'll continue this out a couple of days. There's Bermuda, and what you'll see is it take a turn. And you'll also see the model trying to maybe develop another system here. Again, now we're getting way out in the distance, and the models are going to have, at times, some funky solutions. But I think in general, watch future Jerry, turns, misses Bermuda, and then maybe something tries to form here. That may just be a front and low pressure forming on that front to create a nor'easter. That's going out to October the 12th. So that's way out there. Nothing forms in the Gulf or the Carib. That is the basics of where we stand right now as far as the outlook. We'll continue to watch it one day at a time. Things can change tomorrow. Tuesday's forecast for Houston. Summer continues in October. 92, humid, 20% chance for a scattered shower. On Tuesday, the extended, I want to draw your attention to Thursday and the words less humid. Yes, that front coming in should drop humidity. That should put lows in the mid-60s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that will make things much more comfortable. High stay near 90. There isn't any cold air with this, but it will drop the humidity and help things feel a little bit more like early fall in Houston. That's where we stand. Next live update on KHOU 11 News at 10. We are working what we believe. Are we still working this as a potential fire at Dow? Yeah, we're still working this as we're getting reports of a fire. To what extent, we're not sure, at the Dow plant near Freeport. So we are sending a crew. We've got the chopper up, and we'll have a complete update on that. Coming up on KHOU 11 News at 10. That's our next live broadcast.